Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Theater on Monday Talk Series, where we discuss the essence of theater. Four small words. That's all you need to create a character. Jim Carver is going to tell you how.
I've been working in community theater for my entire life. Grew up in community theater and have been directing in community theater. And one of the things that I've found over all those years is that I constantly had new people coming in, new unskilled actors. People would come in with talent and possibilities, but they had no craft. They didn't know how to do what there was expected of them. They knew they had to learn the lines and not fall over the furniture, but beyond that, they didn't know how to attack the job of being an actor. And I found that as a director, that I really needed to teach the craft. And so I've been teaching acting while directing for quite some time. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this, but I'm going to need some response from you because I'm going to ask you some questions and I want you to respond. So, first of all, everything you need to know about your characters in the script. You don't need to go outside and try to create it from some outside thing. Yeah, let me just give you an example. Somebody might say, well, your character might say, oh, no, he don't. No, he don't. And somebody else would say, unequivocally, I can say that he certainly does not. Two entirely different kinds of speech, right? A clue to their character. Shakespeare didn't put any directions in his script. Everything you needed to know about the character was in the words. And you studied those words, and the reason you studied them was to find out where those words came from, what they meant to the character, and so forth. So here's what I'm going to do. A young girl is cast in a play. She has 4 words, and those words are, "Tea is served, Mum." That's it. Now, this girl can learn these lines. And she can walk in and set the tray down and say, "Tea is served, Mom," and, and go across the street, wait in the pub for the curtain call, right? Yeah. And she'll tell her friends, "Oh, I'm just on for a minute, and I bring in the tea, and I go off and so forth, and I don't have anything to say." Well, now let's see. Let's talk about this. Tea is served, Mom. Where does this play take place? Come on. It takes place in England. Okay? Can we see the house? What does the house look like? Big mansion, right? Great big mansion. Do you see the portraits of the ancestors on the walls? See the heavy curtains on the wall, on the windows? See the main staircase coming down here, so forth? And this little scene that we're going to take place, does it take place in that where the staircase comes down or someplace else? Where does it take place? It takes place maybe in the library, right? Let's see, or where else? Okay, in a parlor of some kind. Who's in that room when she says, "Tea is served, Mom"? The matriarch. Her guests. What do the guests look like? Yeah, how are they dressed? We're going to imagine this. How are they dressed? Come on. They're all dressed, maybe tuxedos. Or very formal anyway, right? Very formal. Okay. Now, so we kind of know where, let's put where this house is exactly. I see it, maybe you don't, but I see it up on a hill. Just outside of town, way up on a hill. Do you see that's not me that's ringing.
I hear the music playing in the parlor.
Somebody else is... I hear that music too. Isn't that lovely? So, do you see the driveway long driveway going up to the house and so forth. Can you see all that? Okay, we've just created this world out of Tia Served Mom. We've just created that whole world. Now let's talk about this little girl. Where does she live? In the village. She lives down in the village. Good, thank you. I was going to have to lead you down that path, but she lives in the village. What does the village look like? Small town. Dirt roads. Okay? Where does she live in that town? Okay, I'll help you.
In a shack.
She lives on the second floor over the butchery. Right? She lives in that second floor. You see the cobblestone streets or the dirt streets? You see them? Okay, she lives up there, right? Who does she live with? Her mother and her father. Okay. What does her father look like? What does he do for a living? He's not the butcher? Okay, stonemason. It doesn't make any difference. Describe him to me. You can't be wrong, so describe him to me.
He's muscular, he's kind of bent over, he's had a hard life.
Kind of like me. Kind of bent over. What about her mother?
Takes in laundry.
She takes in laundry. Have you been in this workshop before? Yeah, right. She takes in laundry. Describe her to me. Somebody else describe. He knows her too well. Somebody describe her.
Gray hair and bun.
Okay.
Tired.
Little bit of a woman, isn't she? Kind of scrawny and old. Yeah. All right. Now, this is where this little maid lives. She lives in that place up there. How does she get from her house to the place on the hill? She walks. Any other way she might go? You can't be wrong.
On a buggy. Not a buggy, but a bicycle. Bike.
She might ride a bike. Okay. All right. Now, here is the most important thing. What does she want more than anything in the world? If her dream was to come true, what would she be? She wants to be the mistress of the house. So, she wants to be the mistress of the house. How's she going to do that? How could she possibly be the mistress of that house?
Charm one of those fancy men.
Who? The son of the matriarch. She needs to marry the son of the matriarch, right? Okay. So how is she ever going to do that? How is it going to be possible? She's got to get noticed first, right? Okay. Now, remember when we first started, this little actress said, okay, I just bring the tea on. Tea is served, Mom. And I go off, and I wait for the curtain call. Now, wait a minute. Now we have a real life person, don't we? We have a young girl. We've given her a life. We've given her a mother and a father and an existence and so forth. And this young girl has dreams and plans. Might not ever happen, but she wants it. Okay, now she's going to serve the tea, and the son is in the room. Does it change the way she brings in the tea? Exactly. She changes the way she brings it in. So, I'm going to play the part, even though I miscast. I miscast, but it's okay. Okay, she comes in. Now, watch my eyes, okay? She comes in and sets the tea down. Tea is served, Mom. Just a little glance and then, what is she thinking? What is she thinking as she does that? As she glances at him, what does she think? Does he notice me? Isn't that how handsome he is? Does he think I'm pretty? Did the matriarch see me make that move and I'm going to get fired because I was slightly flirtatious? You see, all those things come into play. Now, that little girl, that actress, has a fun part to play. She's not just bringing in the tea. She is playing a character. And, okay, so you understand, that is the job of the actor, to do that work, taking the words out of the play and finding out what's in them and creating the life of the character around those words. If they don't do that, they are scenery. That's all they are, just scenery. It's like, suppose you were cast as a soldier standing at attention, and the king and the queen are arguing over here. And you're standing there at attention, you're holding your rifle and so forth, and you're just a guard, and they're arguing. What are you thinking? You're hearing the king and the queen argue. What are you thinking? Are you taking sides? Are you saying, well, that bitch, why did she say that like that? Oh, God, I would never say that to my wife. Well, if you don't do that work, you're just scenery. If you don't do that work. And it's not fun to play scenery. It's more fun to play a real character that you've created. And the fun part about it is that you have created it. It is yours alone, and anybody else playing that same part is going to play it completely different with whole different images and everything. The interesting thing about it is the audience doesn't know that you've done all that work. They don't know where this little girl lives. They don't know what her mother looks like, that she takes in laundry. It's not in the script. But the actress knows, and the character knows. And that character then becomes alive. Not just tea is served, Mum, but it is a living, breathing character bringing in the tea. And that's the kind of work we need to do. Especially new, young, inexperienced actors need to learn that process. So that's my pitch for today. Thanks.